So Netflix has just put out this new movie called Before I Wake, and if you're checking out this video, it's probably because you want to know whether it's worth your time. Well, you've come to the right place, because in this video, I'm going to give you my full review of this Netflix original, and we're starting right now. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Ryan, and this is where I review movies and shows from a variety of different platforms to help you manage your expectations so you're not left disappointed. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything along the way. Before I Wake follows this young couple, Jesse and Mark. Now, after losing their son, Sean, they have chosen to become foster parents to a young boy by the name of Cody. Cody had lost his mother at a very early age and as a result had bounced from home to home. Now, he seems to be a perfectly normal kid, with one major exception. His dreams become reality. Now, there's nothing wrong with this as long as he's dreaming about rainbows and butterflies. The problem is, with dreams also come nightmares, and Cody's nightmares can become deadly. Now, one of the things I really enjoyed about the movie was some of the characters we saw, specifically Jessie. She's played by Bosworth. Now, what I love about this character is the depth they were able to add to her. Not only is she a loving foster mother to Cody, but she's also still dealing with the loss of her son, Sean, and that's only made worse by Cody's dreams. There are times in this movie where she will make decisions that are selfish and in her own interest, even at Cody's expense, and yet you don't hate her for it. You actually empathize with her and understand where she's coming from. And being able to find that balance between love and grief is a real testament not only to Kate's acting, but also to how well this character is written. It's not just Jesse's character that was handled well. The story was also developed really well, and you see that best in the explanation behind Cody's nightmares. They touch on some very real fears there, so much so that if you share those fears, this movie could take you on an emotional journey that you were not prepared for. You also see how well the writing is done in the conclusion of the story. They're able to maintain the stakes, they don't take anything back, but at the same time, they give you a glimmer of hope that things could one day return to normal. And it's that balance they strike that really makes this movie stand out. Now, as great as all that is, what you really want to know is how scary is it? So there were a couple of things they did right that stood out to me. For one, they focused on subtlety early on. The music wasn't overdramatic, and they tried to use what was in frame instead of what was off camera to really build suspense and atmosphere, making them less reliant on jump scares. Now, you have to take into consideration all this is happening in the context of a PG-13 movie. So the scares themselves are going to be less blood and gore and more disturbing imagery. But all that considered, I think the scares were pretty decent, making this a perfect gateway movie into a much larger genre. So I do have two criticisms about the movie, and one of them revolves around a little bit of a plot hole. You see, there's this one point where Jessie seems to have access to information that previously was a mystery to her. Now, it's possible the movie hints at how she got this information, but it never states it definitively. So that's something I can overlook easily enough. Here's the other problem I have. There's one particular scene that seems to come across a lot like a police detective going down into evidence lockup, retrieving old case files. The problem is the person involved is not a detective, and the location they are is not a police station. So my criticism is this: I don't think you can retrieve information at these locations quite in that fashion. Speaking of police stations, if you happen to like this movie, you might also like a movie called Bright, and you can check out my review for it in the card above right now. Walking into Before I Wake, I was expecting something on the slow side that didn't have much plot development, overly reliant on jump scares. But what I got was something with a lot more heart and thought than I was expecting. I mean, 20 minutes into this thing, I was genuinely surprised at how much I was enjoying it. So I'm going to give Before I Wake a watch. So obviously this isn't one of the horror classics, but for a PG-13 movie of this caliber, I think it's right where it needs to be. So what are some of the things that haunt your nightmares? Why don't you jump in the comment section below and let me know. And hey, if you like this video, maybe you'll like some of my other reviews. You can check them out off to the side here. And as always, if you've made it to this point in the show, that means you must have liked it, so why not give it a thumbs up? And if you want help managing your expectations in future Netflix releases, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you're kept up to date next time I get ready to upload a new video.